Don't forget to like, subscribe and share the videos.
RBI not looking to tighten the norms on unsecured lending by banks. So the news is related to the rising proportion of unsecured loans by the banks. See, after pandemic and then the Russian-Ukraine war, the projects which has been funded by the banks are getting turned into non-performing assets, so that the banking are diversifying their portfolio, credit portfolio, so that they are right now increasing their credit portfolio in the unsecured loan segments. So this is what the news is about. How the news is related to the examination is, under prelims it is related to economic and social development. Similarly, under mains it is related to Indian economy and issues relating to planning, mobilization of resource, growth, development and employment. See, okay, since the news is related to unsecured loan, let's have a look into what does this unsecured loan is about. The unsecured loan is nothing but the loan given by the banks without taking any kind of collateral with them. The banks usually lend to the customers for the if the kind of loan is unsecured loan, means the bank will be lending to the customers only based on the credit score of the individual customer and the history of their past debts. Under these two criteria only, the bank will be lending to the customer if the customer is demanding for the unsecured loans. So the personal loans, educational loans and the credit card loans, these are all the things which comes under the unsecured loan, so which is very important from the perspective of the prelims. They might be asking, they will be giving certain kind of loan and they will be asking which of the above forms the unsecured loan. Such kind of things are now repeatedly been asked in prelims, so we should be aware of it. So secondly, what is the cause for rise in the unsecured loan recently is that, see, the banks have turned retail, as I said, due to default in the projects which they have been investing. And then secondly, the unsecured loans operation cost is very less when compared to the secured loans, as a result of which the yield that has been earned by the banks is very high when compared to the secured loans. Thirdly, the high demand from the low as well as the middle income segment of families is also leading to increased outgo of the unsecured loans in the banks. So this is what the causes of unsecured loan in the recent time, causes for rise of unsecured loans in the recent times is about. So what concerns it creates is that the recovery of the unsecured loan is very havoc, because the bank doesn't have any kind of access to the collateral for the loan which they have obtained. So there is high chance that it may get defaulted, and the recovering process is very tedious when compared to the secured loans. Secondly, the huge competition between the banks is leading to dilution of standards while giving the unsecured loans to the customers. Thirdly, difficult to access the quality of the loan being given by the banks to the unsecured loans. So these are all the concerns in terms of the unsecured loans is about. So what need to be done or studied need to be done to reduce the impact that has been created by the unsecured loan is, the standards need to be maintained. There should not be at any cost the dilution of the standards should be taking place. Even if there is a competition, means the banks need to be equipped themselves with other technological aspects and other skilling as well as the human development aspect, so that they will be in a position to maintain the standards as well as the development of their banks. Secondly, the securitization of the loans should be taking place. That is, those loans that has been given as unsecured loans, if it is been defaulted, means they need to be clubbed together, they need to be made as a security and need to be sold to the private sectors, so that the banks may get the amount or the capital from the private investors for the securities that has been given to the private investors, and this amount could be used for the disbursement of the loans to the customers. And the investors, those who are investing in the banks for the securities, that is securities which has been obtained from the bank, will be getting the periodic investment from periodic interest from the banks, so that the banks could able to reduce the negative fallout of the default in the unsecured loans. Thirdly, there need to be increased technological adaptation, and the capacity buildings need to take place, as I said, in the banks, so that the credit worthiness of the individual customers as well as the quality of the unsecured loans will be assessed precisely. So these are all the things which need to be done to overcome the negative impact that has arisen because of unsecured loans. So what need to be studied further is, we should know about first what is bank, what is non-banking financial companies, and then what is small financial banks, and then what is payment banks, and what are the difference between all the four of them. Secondly, we should also know about the Basel norms and how many types of norms being created, and right now India is implementing which types of norms, and what is the impact that is created in it has created in the banking industries. Thirdly, we should also know about what is non-financial debts, which are all the debts that comes under non-financial debt, we should be aware of it.